Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tech Sheck. Well, today we got really lucky. We're going to do a special session, and we have with us the big bird of Nest.io, Miss Jehan Ara. Miss Jehan Ara, pleasure to have you on the show. I know we've been trying to do this for a little while. Thank you very much for taking the time, and we'd
Thank
love
you.
to get some.
Thank you, Faruk, for inviting me. I'm sorry it's taken so long, but life has been a bit crazy.
Understandably, and the circumstances there dictate that on a daily basis. But again, thank you very much for taking the time out to be with us. So, in TechCheck style, let's get right to it. So, Jahan, give us a little bit of a background on you and how Nest.io came about.
So, Faruk, I don't know if you know, I grew up in Hong Kong. I was born in Karachi, grew up in Hong Kong, and moved back to Karachi in 1993
Okay,
and started with some friends a tech company. And
okay,
those were early days for tech in Pakistan, and it was
sure.
interesting. There were a lot of challenges. I became a part of Pasha, which is the industry association for technology. Started doing some things there, and noticed that there was a lot of support that was required by younger people who were starting companies. So started a lot of initiatives like the Pasha ICT Awards in 2003. Then went on, before that we had been launching things like the Pasha Launchpad, where we would welcome people who were starting with new ideas, asking them to pitch and then giving them feedback. Had a panel from industry who could provide them with that feedback and mentorship. And then, in 2015, January, we decided to open up this space, the Nest.io. And the reason for that was by then, Nust had opened up an incubator. Plan 9 was ongoing in Punjab. Omar Saif had set that up. And Lums had just started their incubator. Um, and in Karachi, nothing really was happening. So
Right.
it's a big city, I don't know
Mhm.
if you're familiar with it, but it's a
Very.
big city with anything from between 20 to 25 million people, a lot of them young people, and there were never going to be enough jobs. We knew that. So we went and talked to a lot of students at university, went around and talked to people who were in the profession and asked them, why is it people are not starting companies in Karachi as much as they should be? And the answers we got were very interesting. They said, well, we want to start companies, we understand tech, but we don't understand how to convert that into a business. And then some of them said, we can't find mentors. We don't know who to go to. Our immediate network, there are not people who are starting companies. So we don't have the linkages that we require. And we would like to meet other people like ourselves who are just as crazy, who want to take up this challenge so that we can talk to each other, we can learn from each other. And that's how the idea of the Nest came about.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. Well, and as it's well known, your reputation precedes you, as does the institution itself. So, kudos to you on the work you've done and all the hard work and efforts that you and your team have made over the years. And we wish you the best and hope that continues.
Thank you so
So,
much.
you're welcome. So, moving along, and I think this is something that it's a personal curiosity. So, over the time that Nest.io has been operating, what's the biggest success story that's come out?
So I don't know if you mean success in terms of a startup, but I
Yeah,
think my biggest success in terms of the Nest.io has been the community that we have built.
awesome.
And that community, now we have incubated around 200 plus startups at the Nest between 2015 and now. And those founders have been so phenomenal. They've been really amazing. And they have been there for each other throughout all the challenges that they have faced in their entrepreneurial journey. Especially now, COVID, you've seen a number of them struggle, but some of them were in spaces where they were doing very well, where there was additional business, and suddenly they had to scale. And the support that they give each other, both at a personal as well as at a professional level. I think that is the phenomenal success of the Nest.io. And the fact that through our conference, 021 Disrupt, I don't know if you've heard about it, but we're going to be in our fourth year this year. We have been able to get the world and the region to recognize that there is a vibrant startup community in this country. And without my team and I starting 021 Disrupt, involving everybody from the startup ecosystem, I don't think we could have done that as quickly. So I see that as the major success. As far as startups are concerned, there's some amazing ones. You've met Uzair Karni, who is the founder of Native Learning. We have startups like Wonder Tree. I don't know if you've heard about them, but they work in the area of augmented reality, using augmented reality to work with kids with special needs to help them with their education and therapy. They've been recognized globally, and they are now part of the Google Startup Accelerator program. So, there are lots of startups, and to just mention one seems unfair. I'm so excited about all of them.
That's fantastic. No, it's really good to hear. And I think one of the high points, Jehan, is to make sure that people here, particularly the diaspora, understand, how you guys are bringing velocity to these startups and what they're actually doing on a global stage, which is really cool to hear. So the next question that I had was more around, given your tenure and length inside of the ecosystem, there's so much going on right now. What do you envision in the next 5 years? What do you see on the Pakistani tech ecosystem?
So I think a lot has happened over the last 5 or 6 years. We started from a small base. Although there were companies that were forming, nobody ever heard about them. But now over the last 5 years, you've seen investors come and invest in companies here, whether it's ride hailing, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's product companies, whether it's social ventures. And I see that as we move forward in the next 5 years, Pakistan is going to become even more important as far as the startup ecosystem is concerned and as far as investments are concerned. Companies here are beginning to scale. And I think the success story that you've seen in places like Indonesia, you're going to find that Pakistan will soon be much like Indonesia. We have a large population of young people who take to technology so easily. We have a diaspora that's strong. We have a region that understands that Pakistan is at that stage where it's going to become even more important as an entrepreneurial space. And there are customers here. So you can start here, get your first billion customers locally, and then look beyond our borders to get customers internationally. So I see the next 5 years as phenomenal growth for this ecosystem. And the young people who are part of it. We are just here, we're going to be watching from the sidelines, helping when we can. But I think more than that, it's these young people who are going to be recognized and who are going to show people what Pakistan is capable of doing.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That sounds like a great vision, and we're hopefully going to all be able to partake in that. So, and with that, that leads me to my last question for you, and an important one is, what's the ask of the diaspora? What can we be doing more of?
So we've seen the diaspora, whoever has left this country and gone on to whether it's the US, Canada, Europe, Australia, they've done so well. They have shown people what graduates from this country and young people from this country can do, not only for Pakistan, but for whichever country they adopt. They have now become part of large networks. They have experience that many people in Pakistan do not have. And I think the role of the diaspora is to act as connectors as well as mentors to the ecosystem, and also as investors if they have money. So, it's not always about the money, it's about support, it's about making sure that your network is available to people here, and also tell the story, just like you're doing. Tell the story of what is going on here and the kind of initiatives that are taking place here. I think it's all about collaboration. It's all about making sure we take everybody along. So that's my ask of the diaspora.
That's fantastic. Well, with that, Jehan, as you know, we try to keep these short, a little informal, make sure people get through and see these. First of all, again, I wanted to thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for asking me, and I hope that you continue to do this. And if you want to be introduced to any startups that you want to talk to, let me know, and I'll connect you.
I will absolutely be doing that. We're going to be counting on Nest.io to help us continue feed this channel.
Thank you so much.
And with that, to our audience, thank you very much again for joining us. We hope you're finding this content interesting. Every week, we try to bring you something new, different, fun, engaging. So please like, share, subscribe. We need your support to keep this effort going. Thank you to our sponsor, Open Silicon Valley. And with that, I bid all of you, Allah Hafiz.